Hi, I'm Anna Zobel, and I'm a Diamond Beachbody coach. And a little bit about me is that I am a new nurse practitioner. I was a nurse for 13 years, and I just got my nurse practitioner last year, and I have just started a job this year, within the last year, of working with two neurosurgeons. They have me doing their first assist in their surgeries. We do backs and brains and necks and spinal cord stuff. So it's been pretty cool to learn that stuff. So I wanted to talk a little bit about my fitness and health journey. And specifically, we kind of talk about the three different things that we help with in Beachbody, that I help with as a Beachbody coach, which is the fitness plus the nutrition plus the support. And so I kind of tell people like what I've done in the past and maybe why it didn't work for me. So first of all, I was one of those back in high school that I did like 3 sports a year, and I did the long distance track, and I loved soccer, and I did swimming to learn how to swim. That's a whole another story, but so, I was one of those where they would tell me, like, oh, you got to do carb loading, and I loved it. You would go, we'd have a track meet, and the night before we'd, like, load up on tons of lasagna and spaghetti and, bread and everything. So, and you got all those mixed messages. People told you to be fit, but then they told you, oh, you can eat whatever you want. So I kind of didn't have the nutrition part in that. And then every summer, I would always tell myself, oh, I'm going to run every day, in between track and soccer. But then I would say, oh, I'm going to take a break. So I don't know if you guys have done this where you take a break, but then you never start up again. So then, of course, I was missing the fitness part. So I did get the fitness part down. I started working out, I started running, and I just basically never stopped since high school, at least doing something every week, at least doing something. And so, so I did develop that habit, but then the support, I don't know if you've ever done that where you have friends or family members and you say, oh, we're going to lose weight together, or we're going to run this marathon together, and maybe you're really good at keeping each other accountable for a couple of days, a couple of weeks, but then somebody falls off, they're like, oh, I'm sleeping in today, or they just don't show up, or maybe you're the one that doesn't show up, or you get busy, whatever it is. So anyway, so sometimes I'd have the accountability and sometimes I wouldn't. And so, I did different times of gaining weight and losing weight, and it kind of went up and down like that. I would always work out, but I didn't have the nutrition down, and I really didn't have the support. And then, and I actually lost weight before I got married, but then I showed up at my own wedding, and, I wasn't overweight or anything, but I remember being super upset because my sister, who is older than me and had 4 kids at the time, now she's had more, but she showed up having lost weight, and she was like thinner than I was, and I mean, I wasn't super upset, but you know how you can imagine showing up to your own wedding and like your sister, anyway. So maybe you've gone through stuff like that. So anyway, the other thing I want you to think about is what's your motivation for really getting fit. My motivation was kind of a deep down inside, I just knew I really wanted to finish, and really, actually do programs and that kind of thing. I worked a lot of night shifts as a nurse, and I'm kind of a night person anyway, and so I pretty much for like 10 years saw those P90X infomercials, and I saw all those transformations, and I just really wanted to experience that, and so I bought it, but I bought it right before I started a travel nurse job, and I was traveling down to Twin Falls, and then, of course, things come up, like I didn't have a DVD player in the hotel room, and I would still work out, but I just wasn't doing the whole program. And so so I didn't finish it. I don't know if you've experienced that before, where you've bought a program and then you just never finished it. Or maybe some of you have never gotten it out of the box. So I can definitely help you with that too. So anyway, so fast forward 2 more years, and I was turning 30, and I watched this one movie called Julie and Julia, and I just remember one part of the movie where the main character kind of freaks out about turning 30, and I think she just kind of was like having that life moment where I haven't accomplished anything in my life that I thought I would by this point, and she was just kind of freaking out about turning 30, and so in my mind, I literally was like, well, that's dumb, and I was determined not to be like that. And so, I mean, like, I planned a whole birthday party for myself. I was like, I was going to have fun for my 30th birthday. But one of the big goals I had was, P90X. I still had it, and I was like, it became part of, like, my bucket list. Like, that was my motivation, was like, I don't want to die having not finished those 90 days. So I had that deep kind of driving motivation. I was like, I'm turning 30. I really want to get fit and actually have one of those transformation stories. So for me, that was motivation deep inside me. And so I did it, and what I did was I did the fitness part, but I didn't change the nutrition yet. And I also didn't necessarily have the support. I had one friend that started with me, but then kind of dropped off. So luckily my motivation was strong enough that I made it through the first 90 days. And I told myself I'm just going to work out. So then I actually made it through 2 times of P90X. And then the third time, I finally added in a little piece of nutrition, which was that I started counting my calories, writing everything down. It was just being mindful. And I just wrote it on a piece of paper even. And just doing that, I lost another 20 pounds. So then I had added in the nutrition and the fitness. And so then I kept working out, and then I got motivated again, and I ended up buying Brazil Butt Lift, which I don't know if you've seen those infomercials. They're kind of funny. I thought so. I saw them again on those night shifts in the break room, and I saw all those girls in bikinis or with tight jeans on, and I was like, well, that's dumb, because there's all these girls like, look at my butt, and anyway, I thought it was really dumb. But then as I was walking out of the break room, I started thinking about it, and I was like, I wonder if it really would work, because I had grown up totally pear-shaped, and I had always had big hips, and so I, was like curious, and so I ended up buying it for myself for Christmas that year. It was my Christmas present to myself, and I actually did it. Actually works, by the way, if you're thinking about that one. I actually lost inches off my hips and my waist, and I lost weight, lost jean sizes. So anyway, so fast forward again, I found out that there was Beachbody coaching, and I was like, well, shoot, I already own half their programs because I had done other ones before that. And so I was like, heck yeah, sign me up. So my little bit of motivation for doing coaching was, part of it was that support and accountability part. It was all bringing it all together, because I knew that we were doing challenge groups, and I was like, hey, if I'm a coach, then I will have that accountability to other people. I'll have to say, like, shoot, if I, totally eat too much or whatever, then I'll have to say to my group, like, hey, sorry, I was a bad example as a coach, And so being a coach has actually helped me maintain my weight loss for over 2 years now. And so total, just so you know my story, total, I lost over 40 pounds and over 40 inches everywhere. And you'll have to watch my transformation video. I'll try to put the link in the comments below. So I want you to think about, what is your motivation? And there's a difference between wanting to and the deep down motivation I'm talking about. An example that Darren Hardy gives is that he says there's people can walk across the plank, no problem, like if it's on the ground or whatever. Well, what if that plank was like between 2 buildings, 20 stories up? Would you walk across the plank? And, of course, I personally wouldn't, because I'm afraid of heights. But then he says, what if, for those of you that are parents, what if your baby, your child, is on the other side of the plank and that building is burning, would you walk across the plank? So basically, you have to come up with, why are you motivated deep down inside to keep going, to work out when you don't want to, and that kind of thing. And I've got a lot of other videos because my motivation kept me going even when it was hard. You can watch my other things about how I worked out even though I was working 12-hour night shifts, and I would come home dead tired and still push play for that hour-long P90X. And I would, there were multiple times that I would like wake up on the floor after doing the stretch. I'd like be doing the stretch and literally fall asleep on the floor for a couple of hours and wake up and finally go to bed. So I definitely know that there are struggles along the way, and you're going to need your motivation to get through this. And so make sure that you message me on Facebook and let me know what your motivation is. And also let me know what your goals are. What event is coming up in your life? What thing do you want to accomplish? And maybe it's just to be healthier. Maybe it's just that you want to feel better inside. And so I hope this helps, and make sure that you message me on Facebook, and also make sure you click the link below to have me be your free Team Beachbody coach. And I hope we talk again. I'll talk to you later.